Give me,
Yep.
hold on. I'm about to intercept this. Okay. Bet. Okay. 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 Now I'm lost in the sauce. Okay, there we go. Back now. What's up, Mr.
We up. Episode 2.
Episode 2? Let's speak on it.
Let's talk about it. Let's speak on it. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So today, folks, on this day after, what in America we have is Memorial Day, this Tuesday, May 27th. This is something that I had come across that I wanted to share with Brent. It was a real, it was a conversation between Wallo and Larry Krasner. So that's what we're going to pull up right now. We're going to get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Is there anything you wanted to say, Brent?
Yeah, I was just going to say for those who may not know either one, Wallo267 is a influencer on social media from Philadelphia, where we are from. And Larry Krasner is the DA of Philadelphia. Um, who's had some I'll say a very lively run here, a very controversial to some degree, but I actually like a lot of things that Larry Krasner has done. But these are the two men, for those who don't know. Larry Krasner is the DA. Wallo267 is what he go by. He's the influencer and a lot of other things, public speaker, business owner, um
Podcaster.
podcaster. Yeah.
And Larry Krasner as well has also, thank you, Larry. Larry has donated to our
Personally.
personally, we met Larry, so thank you for that. But this is a conversation we came across and we wanted to speak on it. So let me open this up. Let me open my screen up. And if y'all remember from our first episode of Let's Speak on It, what did we talk about there, Brent? What was the focus?
Capacity, what people perceive as uh nonprofits or organizations that they can work with, who's considered big, who's considered small, and why they're looked at as such. And yeah, just speaking to those grassroots organizations and the need for more conversations with funders, elected officials, philanthropists around what we do in the capacity of how we can do our work if funded properly.
Right. And was there something we pulled from when we were speaking on it at that time? Oh, you know what it was? You know which one? We did have that one, and we also spoke on Anthony Edwards and those and his situation at the time. Um,
That was prior to, yeah, that was when we talked about basically volunteering to be a father or not, or a parent or not.
right.
Right? Is that your choice?
Right. And that folks is what these let's speak on it. These are things that Mr. A or Mr. B, Akeefer Brent has come across, and we want to share our thoughts, but we also would like your thoughts as well. So let me pull that up. And I did this a certain way, Mr. B. It's so that people can know where they can find us. So we're going to go to fathersread365.org. Okay. Bam. Y'all are at our website now.
Check us out.
Check us out. Check us out. So we want to show y'all how to get to, certain places. First of all, when you come here, you get to know more about us, Mr. B, Mr. A, our qualifications. We talk about our mission. We're father focused. We're family centered. Read into that. Our 1 million dads reading campaign. Y'all, we are really about to get 1 million dads activated. Please stand by on that. We have our active reading training for parents that Mr. B goes through here. Mr. B, you want to share anything on active reading real quick?
ABCs, ask questions, build Build vocabulary, create connections. ABCs, check it out, y'all. Very simple 3-minute video that can help any parent, no matter your reading level or style, connect in a better way and get the best out of reading with your kids. Check it out. My little cartoon character there.
Oh yeah, you get to work that. Our amazing videographer Amber, she put that together. You get to see. Oh, we got to update this. We got a new Book Bus logo, y'all.
Oh yeah, we got to put the new book bust on there.
We
This
got
gonna look old now. This old.
Native, but hey, we're making moves, y'all. This is our book bus where we go around to the centers. Myself and Mr. B, we have created the Ready First Network where we provide free literacy resources, y'all. And to date, where it says 285,000 here, Mr. B, we about to hit that 300,000 mark.
300,000 very soon, y'all.
For books that we've distributed, books in hand. As you see this picture here with the kids with the dad bags, this is what kids receive. They receive our books that we authored ourselves, as well as some other books and some toys and some financial literacy. Hey, we doing it big over here,
And
y'all.
that's one of the best add-ons this year to the dad bags is Vanguard. Shout out to Vanguard, the Vanguard Group, one of our funders and partners. They've added the financial literacy workbook for kids at a preschool level where they can be introduced to concepts and terms around banking and financial literacy. And it's a great two generational approach because they have to work with it, right, with an adult to truly get the best out of it, whether that's their teachers in school because they get a copy of it as well, or it's their parents at home. It's a great add-on, and shout out to Vanguard to blessing us with those this year.
Oh yes. What was it? 1,800 that they provided, 1,600.
2000.
2000, yes. And they also made up some special bags for our educators at the center. So,
Totes, the teacher tote bags, which actually have the financial literacy workbook in it as well.
yes. So, thank you to Vanguard again and all of our funders and donors out there who have helped us. Here are two books here. I'm Beautiful, I'm Proud, Mr. Healthy Snacks. We speak on our own personal stories as well as do these read aloud with the kids. And folks, this is how you can contact, subscribe, and support Fathers Read 365 right here. So that is our website, but we want to speak on something. So up here, you could also see our social media icons. You can find us on all of these. We're going to tap into Instagram because this is where I saw this reel, Mr. B, that I
Yeah.
shared with you. Check it out.
Look at that. Look at that good looking fella.
We're at Instagram, and I guess, Mr. B, what we can do, because in a couple days we have our family literacy night.
Yep.
Family literacy night, and where you can go to register for is free, completely free. You can go on our link tree or our free family literacy webinar. We'll go here. It takes you to our Eventbrite page, and boom.
Sign up, y'all. We need y'all. We need y'all. It's a free information night. And this was built out of how do parents get information around what their kids truly need? How can parents truly advocate for their kids? And how can they get this information in a calm environment, a non-judgmental, non-threatening environment? And we thought of family literacy night, right? You can join webinar style. You won't be on cam unless we actually talk to you and we want to bring you up, and that's okay by you. But for the most part, no one will be on cam except for the presenters. You could be in the comfort of your home, cooking in your pajamas, chilling on your sofa, letting your hair down for the day, or just relaxing and taking this information. But we literally have this week three of the top literacy minds and speech pathologists. Am I saying that right?
Yes. Pathology and oral language development.
Yes, and Dr. Julie Washington, Dr. Heather Fleming, Dr. Monica Covington Cradle. Guys, please join us. This is information that parents would truly need. And what we're addressing this week is the signs of reading differences and how to advocate for your child. So as the year comes to an end, some families may have some rough experiences this year. We're trying to help turn those rough experiences into great wins. By joining us, you can learn how to attack next year and possibly how to finish off this year as far as advocating for your child, and also, figuring out the signs of reading differences. So please join us. Amazing night, totally free. Hit the Eventbrite, webinar style. You could join, and please, guys, this is something, and share it with your friends. Share it with anyone you know who may be experiencing some type of struggle with their family, with their children, with reading, or a parent that's looking for ways of better advocating for their children.
Yes. So here, as you can see, you can get your free tickets. We would love to have you on. Please join us and bring some wonderful questions I know that you have for our family literacy night. So that's how you get there. We're going to navigate some now. So what do we have to look for? He was already up. I guess we was looking already. Somebody was. Well, Wallo, and this is all, trust me, y'all, it's out of respect. It's just a conversation we would like to have. So I'm going to play this. Please listen closely. Okay, maybe if I could turn the volume on. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch it all the way through, and then we're going to come back and Brent and I will break it down. So let's
This owl saved our life. Hey, I'm walking down the street and look who I run into. Listen, District Attorney Larry Krasner. Like, what was the ingredients to bringing the murder rate down, to bringing robbery rate down, assault rate down, to bringing crime down? What was the ingredients to that?
Well, the bottom line is you want safety and you want fairness all at the same time. If you invest in prevention and you use some modern techniques to solve cases, you're going to get it done.
Now, as we move forward into the next, election coming, we going out there to vote, everybody getting out there. Get out there and register. Now, as we move forward into the new, once you win and all that stuff, can I ask you something real small? Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Can you try the district attorney office, get into the community and create more programs for the young people of Philadelphia? Because, as we know, they go a lot of crimes, a lot of things that happen, and they don't have no resource, they don't have no outlet, but everybody quick to blame them. Can I challenge you to create new resources to help them so they don't have to go the routes that they take?
We have to, because that is the best way to get the safety. Having the blood on the ground and
okay. You there, Mr. B?
I'm here.
Okay. I don't know what happened there, but
here we go.
I think we
This
got
owl saved our life.
You want to try it one more time to see if we.
yeah. Let me do this.
And look who I run into. Listen, District Attorney Larry Krasner. Like, what was the ingredients to bringing the murder rate down, to bringing robbery rate down, assault rate down, to bringing crime down? What was the ingredients to that?
well, the bottom line is you want safety and you want fairness all at the same time. If you invest in prevention and you use some modern techniques to solve cases, you're going to get it done.
Now, as we move forward into the next, election coming, we going out there to vote, everybody getting out there. Get out there and register. Now, as we move forward into the new, once you win and all that stuff, can I ask you something real small? Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Can you try
You cut off again? Do you still there, Akif?
Blood on the ground and then having somebody go to jail is not the solution. The solution is to stop the blood from ever being on the ground.
now in Philadelphia, across the country, when it comes to the percentage of the crime going down, where Philadelphia rank?
We're leading the country.
Oh, Philadelphia is leading the country.
Philadelphia is leading big cities, states in improving the public safety.
Take that back because it cut out for me for a while.
It's a safer place. We got the lowest homicides today we've had in over 50 years in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
Okay. You need me to take it back again?
Yeah, it cut out for a little bit for me. I don't know if it did on your end.
Okay.
I think when you cut your mic off, it cut off what I could hear.
Oh,
Yeah.
got you. Okay. Okay, folks. So we'll watch this one more time all the way through, and then we'll go back and I'm taking notes here that we can.
And yeah, and that's why I wanted to go back through because I'm mentally taking some and I wanted to hear the full conversation. So bear with us or definitely take it in as you're taking it in as well. So we could have a conversation around it. Because I'm actually hearing some things different than I heard it the first time.
Okay. So I will not turn my mic off again. Let's take our time with this, folks. Here we
From
go.
the tippy.
Yeah,
Oh,
take it from the top. Okay.
Attorney Larry Krasner. Like, what was the ingredients to bringing the murder rate down, to bringing robbery rate down, assault rate down, to bringing crime down? What was the ingredients to that?
Well, the bottom line is you want safety and you want fairness all at the same time. If you invest in prevention and you use some modern techniques to solve cases, you're going to get it done.
Now, as we move forward into the next, election coming, we going out there to vote, everybody getting out there. Get out there and register. Now, as we move forward into the new, once you win and all that stuff, can I ask you something real small? Can I ask of you something?
Sure.
Can you try the district attorney office, get into the community and create more programs for the young people of Philadelphia? Because, as we know, they go a lot of crimes, a lot of things that happen. They don't have no resource, they don't have no outlet, but everybody quick to blame them. Can I challenge you to create new resources to help them so they don't have to go the routes that they take?
And we have to because that is the best way to get the safety. Having the blood on the ground and then having somebody go to jail is not the solution. The solution is to stop the blood from ever being on the ground.
Now, in Philadelphia, across the country, when it comes to the percentage of the crime going down, where Philadelphia ranked?
We're leading the country.
Oh, Philadelphia is leading the country.
Philadelphia is leading big cities in the United States in improving the public safety.
So this is becoming a safer place.
It's a safer place. We got the lowest homicides today we've had in over 50 years in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh my God. Well, listen, I'm going out there to vote. I'm registered to vote. I was in prison. So you should be going out there to register to vote. And I'm going to be voting. And I hope I see you there because me and my grandma are going to be there. I appreciate you, Larry. Keep doing a great job.
Thank you.
I'm walking down the street and look who I run into. Listen.
Okay.
cool.
So you ready to break this down piece by piece?
Yeah, and yeah, let's go because I definitely I heard something differently this time than I heard it the first time.
Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna try.
And where I want to go in on, see if where I really want to go in on when I say go in, I just want to make a point of it's something that was said there that I think if we I'll mention it when we get to it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's open it back up.
Attorney Larry Krasner. Like, what was the ingredients to bringing the murder rate down, to bringing robbery rate down, assault rate down, to bringing crime down? What was the ingredients to that?
So this is that first question that Wallo asked. What were the ingredients to bringing crime down? Let's hear what Larry Krasner has to say.
Well, the bottom line is you want safety and you want fairness all at the same time. If you invest in prevention and you use some modern techniques to solve cases, you're going to get it done.
Mr. B.
Yeah.
So, definitely safety. We're all about that. We're all about safety. Larry says investing in prevention and using modern techniques. What are your thoughts on what Larry presented as?
I think what I didn't hear before, but that I heard clearly this time was it was like a two-prong attack. And I would have to agree with what he said in I would have to agree with what he said. And what I mean by that is prevention, right? And I'm not exactly sure what prevention he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? But I do know that's what we preach is prevention. That's why we started Fathers Read 365 instead of being reactive. We thought if we could be proactive and come from the prevention side of things, that creates change. That creates a system that doesn't create, a continued system of turning out the same results. If you prevent, if you go into the beginning and work to change things, that's a good way of changing things. So I do agree there. And I don't believe the first time I heard it, I really tuned in on that part, the prevention part. right? Then he talked about the current techniques, new techniques, and I'm assuming he's referring to technology, law, new ways they can forensics and things of such.
Yes, those things.
Or possibly even those diversion programs. I don't know if that falls under prevention or newer techniques in his eyes. But I will have to agree with that. And when I agree with that from our approach is 8, 9 years in, Mr. A and myself have been able to be a part of this, right? We've been out here in these streets for the last almost 9 years. Well, for the 9 years here, preaching from a prevention standpoint, preaching father's engagement, preaching that men create this time with their kids, that families learn if their kids are struggling, if they are struggling, how they can help them. So
So,
yeah, I'll leave it right there for right now.
so it would be good because we want y'all to share this with Mr. Krasner.
Mhm.
It does not hit his desk any other way or his device, but it is, what are those prevention programs, or what is seen as prevention to you, Mr. Krasner? Because just like Mr. B said, we are based in prevention. It looks a certain way, but why we created what we created is to do what? It's to keep these kids out flourishing in life, keeping them out of the system, that you're having to get them on the back end. So we are very preventative in our methods. Okay, let's move on. Is there anything else there?
And I'd just like to say also that when we look at murder rates at times in pure percentages, is pure up, down, we tend to desensitize that there's still hundreds of people in this case that are murdered, right? And that's still too high, right? So sometimes when we take victory laps and I understand that certain positions have to take victory laps, and those victory laps are representing a drop, right? So that is something good, but we still have to be mindful that there's still hundreds and hundreds of people that's still being murdered. And how can we impact that more? Like, are we happy and satisfied with whatever the percentage has dropped, or do we realize from doing this that we can dig in even more and maybe have more of an impact, right? Because I would love to know where early literacy, where literacy in general is involved in this plan. Because if you study, and I'm not going to act like I've studied for years, but some information I've come across that a lot of times when you see big drops, you'll also see big uptakes in the future years, right? So is what's being done and what's being done preventative wise by Philadelphia, can we learn what that is? And can we learn? And why I'm saying that is, one, it could possibly be a blueprint, right, for other cities, or it could be help citizens and other organizations know how to pour into that plan, right? And I know he can't get into all of that in a quick little iPhone interview with Wallo, but that is something we would ask more of. And I would tell the constituents, the citizens, to dig in and find out what exactly is the plan. What do they have on paper as far as their plan for bringing down, um, crime, murder, race, and all of that?
Right, because one thing that we learn about, Brent, is funding, and budget. So where is the money going to the prevention programs or whatever you have in mind or set up in place? Let's get back to this interview here.
As we move forward into the next, election coming, we going out there to vote. Everybody getting out there. Get out there and register. Now, as we move forward into the new, once you win and all that stuff, can I ask you something real small? Can I ask of you something? Sure. Can you try the district attorney office, get into the community and create more programs for the young people of Philadelphia? Because, as we know, they're going a lot of crimes, a lot of things that happen. They don't have no resource, they don't have no outlet, but everybody quick to blame them. So we cannot challenge you to create new resources to help them so they don't have to go the routes that they take.
No, we have to, because that is the best way.
Mr. A.
I was going to see what
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he say, give his answer, and then come back.
And then having somebody go to jail is not the solution. The solution is to stop the blood from ever being on the ground.
Now, in Philadelphia,
Okay.
Right. So that's where that's what I want to speak to, right? So often we hear with Wallo echo, and he asked the district attorney, can you create more programs for the city? I like to say, Keith, Mr. A, we've been just in running Father's Read for almost 9 years. Just with that, not the other 20 years that we've been involved in the city and working with programs. There are so many programs currently existing that get no support. One, we have to understand a process of programs and organizations and how they work. The DA can start some programs, right? But the DA are probably be more helping in supporting programs, right? The DA may be able to start one program, but we have to have the DA, the city, the state officials, the community to understand that there are a lot of programs out there
Already existing
that's being ran by people like Mr. A and myself, regular citizens who care, who may work as a teacher during the day, but they run a math program at night, we've been in these meetings with literally hundreds of programs in the city of Philadelphia alone who are working to better our city, and a lot of them are doing it with absolutely no budget. The issue, and I would say respectfully, Wallo, isn't creating more programs for the children, is actually supporting the programs that currently exist in those programs that are actually doing the real work.
that part too. That part.
That's the issue more than the need to create more programs. It's identifying the ones that's truly digging in, right? And then from there, supporting those groups, building them up. And Wallo, who has an amazing voice, possibly could be a part of this, right? He's already doing a lot of good things through his platforms already. So when I hear that, that's one thing to do. It does kind of like, burn me up a little bit, right? Honestly, as a person who does this work and have been around these groups for years, who don't get any recognition, who usually don't get any support, but are trying their best and who are doing great work. So we don't need more, right? And we got to understand that the district attorney, the council person, the senator, we need to start those. We the people, right? With the constituents. We need to start these organizations or support the ones and join the ones that currently exist and hopefully have that influencer like Wallo or the political influencers like the Krasners and the politicians to back some of these plays and to back more of them that currently exist.
Right. So there you got it from Mr. B. It's not about creating new programs. It's working with the ones that already exist, supporting the ones that already exist, because a lot of them, folks, the ones that are doing the most impactful work are the ones that can reach and connect with the people. And so, yeah,
and there's a good chance, and again, respectfully speaking, there's a great chance that Wallo or Larry Krasner has no idea of those programs, right? So there may be a reason why Wallo is saying this because it's not on his radar.
Right. You only know what you know.
You only know what you know. And that's the need for us, right? Us as a people to share more of what is really going on. A lot of times we're great with sharing negative information, right? Uh, if something happens negative in this city, that will get shared tons more than if something positive happened. And that's something we can control because now we're all part of media, right? We're the social media, right? We all have share buttons, right? Everything has a link. We ask people all the time to share our links, to share our page. Please share, and subscribe this. Um, please hit that little with the bell to get notified when we push out new information. However, we can control that, right? Wallo can share a program of the week. Larry Krasner can share a program of the week. It doesn't have to be them specifically. Their offices or whoever works for them can share things like that. And that will be helpful but there are programs here. There's no need. There's need to start some new programs, right? Don't get me wrong. But we could start addressing this issue not a start again. We could start supporting the people who've already been addressing the issue by just getting behind them and not always financially, even though we know that's the most important, but just giving light to what they're doing.
Right, right. All right, let's continue on with this. I think we got a little bit more of this.
Close it out.
Yeah.
Across the country, when it comes to the percentage of the crime going down, where Philadelphia rank?
We're leading the country.
Oh, Philadelphia is leading the country.
Philadelphia is leading big cities in the United States in improving the public safety.
So this is becoming a safer place.
It's a safer place. We got the lowest homicides today we've had in over 50 years in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh my God. Well, listen, I'm going out there to vote. I'm ready.
So now when you say something gets to you, Mr. B, this is what really gets to me because when we share, when we do share again, we've been figuring out how to build this organization. But I bet I used to say to you personally, then I would say it outwardly at times is that people aren't going to see the results of our work for another 3, 5, 10 years. We're in our 9th year now. So when you talk about why we got together, when we started taking our ideas about getting dads more engaged, we were going to start in the prison systems. So, when you see Fathers Read 365, we're engaged in the literacy, blah, blah, blah. But we are all about, because Brent and I are fathers, and one thing that we talked about, Brent, when we got together that really always stuck in my head was we thought about our families and we thought about our children and the safety of our children. And I believe that your mission as well as mine is if we can get connected to the community, we could keep each other safe.
Yeah.
So we are big on public safety. So Brent, when you hear, like I said, this is what kind of turns my gears and thinking it's just one way to solve the issue. There are many factors which brought this crime down, but it's also something that you speak about, Brent, when we use tactics that could be scare tactics, fear tactics, or I'm gonna lock you up tactics, is that now you have a bunch of what? Children whose fathers are now maybe, incarcerated. So it becomes a wave. So what are you saying, or what do you hear? What do you get from, now Philadelphia, and that's kudos to, Philly to have that going on now that they're leading the nation in improving public safety. But what factors do you think play in, Mr. B?
So when we hear this, and so this is where I got confused at the last time that I saw it differently this time, and I think it's because of who's giving the message, Larry Krasner. For some reason, the last time I heard more of because we locked them up, whereas this time I heard more of we have him just saying we have lower rates, right? We have lower rates, and it's the biggest it's been over a time. And I think I did it, so I think other people may look at it when the DA is saying this, it's representing locking. We did it because we locked everybody up, right? when I look at this, I would say that a lot of people don't know, and this is something we have firsthand knowledge of because we're part of it. Philadelphia has one of the biggest reading movements in general, right? There's a lot of people here who've been working. When we talk about these other programs that get no recognition, that are doing the work, right? There's so many people that are playing a part in this,
Mm.
right? And when it's represented, it's looked at as the DA, right? It could be looked at as Wallo, right? Because Wallo speaks to this, stopping the violence and things like that. And they all are part of this bigger ecosystem that's really out here. And this isn't for it isn't, and it is for recognition. And why I say that is it's important to know what's our girl name that does the Pampers? Uh
Miss Betty Clausen, if I'm not
Miss
mistaken.
Betty out in West Philly. I know she's out in West Philly. She does the Pampers. And you're like, Pampers, how does that help solve violence, right? Maybe a dad isn't out robbing a store for Pampers or robbing somebody for money to get Pampers because he knows where he could go to in his community to get Pampers. Maybe that young lady, we don't think it as much, maybe she's not out on a drill doing something so she could get some money so she could have some pamper money for her child, right? So when we talk about having these communities, these community uh showers for these kids and all the programs that have that and give women, we've been invited into there where we're able to share stories around this, right? And they're connected to what early literacy does and how it can impact not just that kid there, but their little 9 or 10-year-old that's in the house who could be that murderer today. But she learned, oh, I could get him tutored. I could get him help through doing this because there's all these other agencies out there just doing the work. And a lot of times when we see a DA say these things, because I do have to take a step back, me personally, because I felt like when I first watched it, he was kind of like pounding that more. Like, and I will say that from watching it over and over again, I kind of got a different message.
The effect kind of lessened a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely did because I do think it's about who's delivering the message. And again, these guys can't say everyone, but that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this breakdown of this video because there's so many more people in this city besides a Larry Krasner or a politician or an influencer
Or
or
just read
or
360.
Fathers Read, right? Or Fathers Read. Like there is literally, and I will give a shout out to all the people that play a huge role in the city of Philadelphia through literacy. There's a lot of groups out there that are working. And why I say that is because we've been working for years, a lot of us. And if you don't think educating people, informing people on better ways their kids can learn and stay out of the juvenile and to the adult system is helping with what's going on here, if you don't think we're able to build hope through letting parents know, oh, you could get structured reading. This is Wilson's tutoring. This is OG tutoring. That's been going on in Philadelphia. We could speak on for at least longer than Fathers Read 365 has been and honestly, right, has been in existence. So Philadelphia, we can say has a huge literacy component here that have a lot of people working on how we can best educate our families, and that those results show up in these crime down type of statistics. It's not just locking people up.
And so in that as well, what I want you to share about too is the low homicide rate. And
Mhm.
you'll see it kind of the ebbs and flows of it. So
Right.
now it's lower, but what can we, and we're not, Debbie, we're not hoping for the worst, folks. We're not. But what could possibly be?
And it's again studying some information, not saying when great deep research,
Right.
but there's a thought that when rates go down, right, it's the roller coaster effect that they end up coming right back up. There's several factors to why they go down. And I will say that Larry Krasner and the guys, they made a big push around getting a lot of perpetrators around that drill culture off the streets. Because those guys made it easy, right? They were putting their acts on YouTube, like literally saying, I was a part of that shooting that happened to this person. So it wasn't that hard to get those guys, but that type of element needs to be rehabilitated. I'll say that, right? That could be really dangerous. So when that happens, you usually see a dip, right? However, when we were talking, why you usually see the rise back up is because of the next ones, right? The young boys is coming up, the young boys who got to claim that position, right? Who got to be the new ones, but also a lot of those guys who get locked up have children, right? So as we see it dip, because some of them have been killed and some of them have been removed to the prison system, right? Now we've opened up a door for a lot of fatherless children who are part of that next wave who could possibly raise it back up. So when we talked about earlier, what exactly is the prevention plan, right? Where is it at? And this is something I'm not just asking of them, it's something I'm asking of ourselves, to dig into, because we didn't do that before then. I didn't dig into the prevention plan to see if there is just prevention plan facility, but to see if these numbers are truly reflective of a plan that was put into place, and when was the plan put into place, and how can we exactly know that that's the correlation to this dip, you know, and again, not to question, well, yeah, to question the dip, right? How can we keep it dipping and dipping lower? That's as citizens, we should be invested in learning. Well, okay, we got a dip. We've seen dips before. Early 2000s, there was dips. If you just go out, anyone can research. I've done this many times. The murder rates over years, right? A lot of people, I think it was 1974. One of them years in the 70s, like 400 people got murdered, right? That was before gangster rap. That was before this is a violent city. This is a violent country. People have been getting murdered here for a long time. So if we can see a dip, we should study that dip and understand how we keep it dipping instead of seeing it increase again, which usually happens.
And that's where I wanted to come in because I believe we have that answer. It's layered here, and I'm gonna say from what you were sharing is, I think we got to start to question. Okay, if we're talking about drill rap, and he was able to impact this community, and be able to get to these people to stop them from doing this stuff or even telling on themselves, is why did they get into drill rap? You know, why are they getting into these lifestyles? And that's where folks, Mr. Krasner, Wallo, that's where we want to talk to you because we have the solution. We know we have the solution. We know part of the solution. I'm not saying fathers,
Part of it. Part
we
of it.
know, part of the solution that we can definitely, like you said, keep it down. We can keep it down. We're not saying it was just us that got it there. There was a number of groups in this community and people like yourselves that helped get it down, but we want to keep it at that level. And then we want people to flourish in other areas. So that's where Mr. B and myself, we are going after this. We're attacking this literacy crisis. And we're doing it in the best way that we see fit as a result of doing our work in the community over these past 9 years.
Yeah, and it's teaching kids from the time they enter these preschool pre-K centers
Mhm.
the right way of learning. It's teaching them through structured literacy, the proper way of learning. And when I say structured literacy, look that up. Look up what structured literacy is. Look up what applied literacy is. You'll see that some people call it the reading wars, but I would say it's the reading reality. Look up structured literacy versus applied literacy, and that's a whole nother show in itself. But if teachers are trained in structured literacy, if they're coached in structured literacy, if their lesson plans and curriculums consist of structured literacy plans from pre-K 3 through pre-K 4, kids will enter kindergarten on level and ready for learning. You don't have to start this process in kindergarten. You don't have to start it in third or fourth grade. You don't have to start it for some people like myself later in life, right? So when we say we know the proper way, we can help be part of the bigger way of keeping this dipping, because when people can read, they have hope. When people can read, they can educate themselves. They're not running out and grabbing guns and figuring out how to kill their buddy next to them. In fact, their buddy next to them doesn't become their enemy, because now they both have hope. They both may be in a,
Business partner, possibly.
exactly. They both may be great actors, but never went to the club after school that did acting because they was afraid that they couldn't read.
Mhm.
Right? That was a reality of me, a person who always wanted to act, but was like, man, I'm gonna have to get that script in. That I ain't doing that. However, um, I could have did that, but my point is this: you don't even try when you know that you're going to struggle. When you always struggled in school, it's like me going to be an actor. What? You know, there's a form of knowledge and education that you're going to have, and a lot of us have given up on ourselves. So to be able to teach these kids from the time, and here's the thing, we're educating families, right? So now this mom realized she's pregnant. Oh, when I was in that training, when I was watching this video, they say you can start reading now. Oh, my baby has these structured literacy techniques and things that they sent home because that's what they're learning in school. And this is how I could support that. Well, I could do that with the baby that's inside my belly right now. Right. And now a kid is learning from the time that they're conceived the proper ways, because we have ways of getting this information into our community. We have the best information for our communities, and that's why we ask you guys to join Family Literacy Night. That's all a part of this, right? So we could get the information into our community's hands. We can bring down great. It's a dip now. Let's keep that dip dipping, right? Let's dip low. And low and low and low. But yeah, we need to really, as a community, come together and figure out how we attack this literacy crisis and play a part, because the biggest part of it is seeing the community become safe.
Right, right. And I'm sitting up here. Excuse me. I was just trying to show them, some of what we do and where you can get some of these resources and other conversations that we have with Fathers Read 365. But hey, folks, we appreciate you coming by and taking this time to listen to this conversation, and would definitely entertain anything that you all have in regards to this topic, any topics that you heard spoke here, any connections that you have for us. But please share this conversation.
Yes, we want to keep these conversations going. You'll also see episodes of Fathers in Education. You'll see, what is it? What's this? Let's speak on it.
Let's
Uh,
speak on it. We got Dyslexic and Proud.
yep.
We have our
So
family literacy nights.
we want to keep engaging you guys with different contexts and content in different areas around engagement, around early literacy, around father engagement,
Changing the narrative too. Big.
changing the narrative. That was the other one, changing the narrative. And that's, guys, help us focus on people in our community that are doing some amazing things. When we talked about earlier in this. So we can't just talk about people and not be part of and not to say we're talking about them, but we questioned around Larry Krasner and Wallo if they knew about all the different programs that are doing amazing work. Keith and I have the ability to be in on some of those conversations, and we've met literally hundreds of programs throughout these last 9 years. So what we're going to do is start to highlight some of them through changing the narrative. Basically, a lot of people believe that we need to create all these programs. Wallo isn't the only person who says that. You hear that all the time, same type of, we need more programs. We need this, we need that. We have them, guys. So it's going to be on us to be a part of highlighting some of these programs so we can get the word out about the amazing work that they're doing and that you can support.
Yeah, so thank you, folks. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday to our family literacy night. Thank you for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, because they say what 80% of the people that view your channel don't
Don't even subscribe.
need y'all. All right, y'all.